Yes. So a subquery, as you can see, is a query within another query, similar to what we see here at the bottom right. Okay, this inner query and the outer query. So the inner query provides its results for the outer query to be able to look at it. So it depends now on the nature of the results that are coming from the inner query. If the nature of the result is just one value, then we are looking at a scalar subquery. Otherwise, if the nature of the result is a multi-value subquery, or sorry, if the nature of the result is a single column, right? A single column table, or just a single column, or just a set of records per se, then we're talking about a multi-value subquery. So it's not a big deal. That's about it. But then you have two types of relationships you can have between this inner and the outer query. If the inner query and the outer query have no dependencies, then we're talking about a self-contained subquery, which is what we'll be seeing in a little bit. Otherwise, if there are references between the inner query and the outer query, then we're talking about a correlated subquery. It's no big deal about it. That's all we have to do. That's all we have to talk about. So let's dive into each one of these. A scalar subquery. As you can see in the very example on the very first example on the top left, we're using the max function to be able to get the maximum number for the sales order. So the sales order ID, again, it's an automatic number that is going to be generated for each record when you make a sale. So obviously the highest number would be your most recent order. So with this query, you're just getting the highest number for your most recent order. Now, this query can be used as an inner query, which is what we see in the second stage. We're using that as an inner query. It's going to give us one value, one number, which is going to be our most recent product, or sorry, most recent sale order. So when we do that, we're able to go ahead and say where sales order ID is equal to whatever was returned. So that is how you create a subquery, which is a scalar subquery. We are now able to select within the sales order detail table to get the order ID, product ID, order quantity, and that's it. No big deal. Also, you may have that inner query located in anywhere or any different location in your query per se. You can set it in the select part, in the from clause, in the where clause, even in the having clause, which we haven't talked about yet. So you can also use it in update and delete, which we haven't talked about yet. We'll talk about it in future, but here's an example of using it in the select clause. So we're selecting sales order ID, product, order quantity, and we're also selecting the average of the order quantity, which is going to be displayed as average quantity. All right. So this gives you an idea of using subquery in a select clause or in a where clause. At the end of the day, you have a few guidelines that you need to remember. The use of parentheses, you really want to make those parentheses in there because that tells you that that inner query gets executed before the value is handed over, or yes, in this case, the result is handed over to the outer query for it to be executed. So it's a use of multi-level subqueries. You could also have queries within queries within queries, but we don't need to get that complicated. Just to understand that that possibility is out there in case you see it. Just start from the innermost query and work your way out. All right. So also you want to remember handling null values in your inner query. If your inner query spits out a null value, then you're going to get no results, right? But if your inner query is not set up correctly and you end up returning more than one value, then you have an error message. You're actually working in this case with a multi-valued subquery. Sounds good? Awesome. So let's jump into multi-valued subqueries in that light. Again, like we said earlier, in this case, you receive multiple results, multiple rows, or multiple records in your output of the inner query. So what we need to remember, first thing is you use the in operator. We talked about the in operator earlier. Rather than having multiple or clauses, you use an in, and everything within your parentheses separated by commas are used as input. So here it returns more than one row, your inner query that is. For instance, if you look at this inner query, it says select customer ID from sales.customer, where sales is the schema, customer is the table, where the country region is Canada. So we're going to have more than one possibly customer in Canada. So we're going to have a list of customer IDs. Those lists of customer IDs will be returned and they will now be within this in clause. So we're going to look for customer ID and sales order ID for all the customers in Canada per se. That's it. But you have to remember again, inner query returns one column, of course, column ID, but it can return more than one row. All right. But multi-valued subqueries in general can be easily written as joins. Okay. So it depends on you when do you want to use the join over a subquery, because this subquery at the top left is exactly the same as the subquery at the bottom left. Again, we're just joining two tables, customer table and the sales order header table, which you see as C and O. And we're making sure that we're pulling only customers where the region is Canada. All right. So it depends on you what columns you need. If you need columns from both tables, then you need to use a join. If you need columns from just one table, you can use a multi-valued subquery. But you want to be able to use a multi-valued subquery in some cases to start building your joins, because you're able to break down those steps. So an experienced SQL query developer will probably just jump into the join and understand what they're doing. But someone who is still a novice or still working their way up might prefer having subqueries to actually see the steps that are being executed before getting to your output. Sounds good? All right, so let's jump into self-contained versus correlated. Like I said earlier, self-contained subqueries are the ones that have no dependencies whatsoever, okay? But correlated subqueries reference one or more columns within the outer and the inner subqueries, queries per se. So a few things to note: correlated subqueries are executed together with the outer query. That's the inner query per se, but it complicates testing and debugging, so it's not really very popular. And here's an example, though, of one that we'll look at. Let's start again with our inner query. We are selecting the maximum sales order ID from the sales order header table. And we are using a relationship here where the sales order header table, which we have here as O2, is related to the sales order table, which we have up here as O1. So that is a relationship that we have between this inner query and our outer query. Okay. So again, once you have a relationship, in this case in the where clause, that specifies that this should be tied to the other table, then we're looking at a correlated subquery. A few things to point out: we could use the exist, working with exist to check to see if there are any rows in the result. Remember that we talked about handling nulls earlier last week. So handling nulls, we want to be able to check, if there's any record that's going to be returned or not, because those null values or those null results are going to always mess up our query, and we might end up having some results that we don't expect, or having an error message in some cases. All right, a few things to work on. We're going to take a look at simple subqueries, trying to find products with a list price higher than the maximum selling price. We'll work our way slowly and surely to that. And also find names of products that have been ordered in quantities of 20 or more. Remember, in this case, we want to use subqueries, but we can always convert those subqueries back to joins. And in addition to that, we'll also look at correlated subqueries and retrieve some company information, in this case, company name, for each customer using a correlated subquery in a select clause. Sounds good? All right. Before we start with that, what questions do you have? Whatever questions you have, reach out to me and we'll be able to answer those. So quick recap, a very sweet and succinct subqueries, understanding them. We've been able to understand it so far. The use of scalar subqueries, returning one value. The use of multi-valued subqueries, returning one column of records. And self-contained subqueries, the ones that don't have any relationship between the inner and the outer queries, and the correlated subqueries that are related in terms of inner and subqueries. That said, since you're going to reach out with me with your questions, I'll go ahead and share with you the challenge. Thank you again, once again. The challenge for this week would be